Hello, my name is Shakira Obery, and this is my video on what feminism means to me. In recent years, I've started getting into um, Black feminism and feminist thought as well as theory once I started organizing in North Carolina. I'm originally from New Jersey. Um, and what feminism means to me as of right now, because I know it can be subjected to change the older I get and the more readings that I do. But for right now, what feminism means to me is motherhood, sisterhood, and overall just support of Black women and girlhood, and as well as freedom of expression. Um, Initially, my thoughts on feminism would probably be like most people's who did not read about it or not know much on it, is that, it's a white woman's movement. It is centered around white people's problems, um, that it was breaking up the homes of Black families, not realizing how detrimental that type of thinking can be to liberation spaces as well as Black women and girls, especially to someone like my mother or someone like my grandmother or my sister. But now, um, the first feminist reading that I read was Ain't I a Woman by Bell Hooks. And I got into that book because I used to be a big Hidden Colors fan, and I'm pretty sure that everyone knows about those DVDs and that entire team and the production and all of that. I wanted to know, why was Black women to blame for literally every problem that the Black community faces right now? Whether it would be mass incarceration for, you know, women not being able to raise their sons, or for fathers leaving the homes, for the whole myth, of the welfare queen. I wanted to know, where did they get that from? How did it come about? And what's the other side of it, basically, to be able to, play devil's advocate, not knowing that I too would turn into a feminist. Um, it's impacted my life in many ways than one, even consciously or either subconsciously. I know growing up, after reading about the values of feminism, and then I look back into my childhood and I realized that even my mom was somewhat a feminist. Unbeknownst to her, she would not identify as such, but there were certain values in my home that are similar to women's freedom and liberation. The absence of gender roles in my household. My brother cooks. Me and my sister, we take out the trash. We've always had a shared responsibility of babysitting. Um, we were all set to the same standards. Um, and as an adult, it impacts me in more ways than one, whether in my friendships, my intimate relationships, and with society in general. Um, the reading in class that helped me form more of a theory of my own on Black feminism would be, which one was it? Sorry, Black Women's Club by Stephanie J. Shaw. And the reason I chose that reading as one that's helped me shape my theory is because in her essay, she fights against the narrative that the feminist movement is white female centered. She asserts that Black women have started their own movements, prior to the NAACP, the suffrage movement, and the mainstream feminist movement, that Black women are the pioneers of organizing and mobilizing and gathering people together in struggle in order to make change. She talks about numerous organizations that were started, Daughters of Africa, National Association of Colored Women, and just various organizations that Black women have started. And even during enslavement, that Black women, we've always had this sense of community where it was our duty to fill a need that was needed in the community, if that sounds right. Another reading that has shaped my theory would be Africana Womanism by Hudson Weem. I believe that is her name. Not that I agree with her, but she has strengthened she strengthens my belief that Black women should be centered. Her line of thinking in her writing, she asserts that we should put race first as Black women without really seeing the intersections. She believes that it is an either or, and for me, as a Black woman, it is not either or. It is both of them interacting at the same exact time. And she has not realized that when you put race first, it is easier for Black men to come in and oppress Black women. When we do not recognize that we are Black women, it furthers the abuse and the violence and the silencing of Black women at the hands of Black men, as well as white supremacy and patriarchy. And I believe that is it. That is my theory. My theory on Black feminism, in case you need a recap, is that it is the embodiment of motherhood, sisterhood, and freedom of expression for Black women and girls. I do believe that it is the path to liberation. We need a feminist-centered movement, and it doesn't necessarily mean that Black women is centered. It means that you recognize our struggles and we can struggle collectively, not just placing attention on Black men. There are Black women who are being killed and raped and sexually harassed and assaulted at the hands of state police, as well as Black men, white men, and even white women. We are subjected to abuse by literally everyone, and it is important to recognize that in order to move forward. I firmly believe that a movement cannot go anywhere if you do not place women at the center. If we do not get our recognition, if we are not able to have a voice, it will literally not go anywhere. This is why the Black Panthers Party has failed. This is why the Civil Rights Movement has failed. When you fail to center Black women and listen to our voices, the movement will not move. So, thank you.